Hello everyone. In today's video, I will let you know that how to create a project in PHP. Like we will be making a shopping cart website. So today's video agenda will be a shopping cart website, a complete shopping cart website in PHP. How we are going to design this, how we are going to implement this, and how we'll be fetching data from the database and will display on the front end. So let's start with the project. I have a dummy designs with me. Let's see. I have this designs index.html. This is a file, the contact us file, then the sign up form and the login form. In the most websites, like in the shopping cart websites, you need this login and sign up form. So the sign up and login form, then the buy product form. So this is a page where you can buy your product, you can enter your quantity over here, you can like whatever quantity you want to add in your shopping cart you can enter over here. Then this page is used for displaying the products categories wise and as well as to display all the products that are present in your database, right? So in this page we are going to display all the products like this, the title of the product and the model description and the manufacturer description, the price, that will all be displayed from your database. Then this is your front screen. It will contains a slider that will rotate 3 to 4 images one by one, and this will be a menu part. The menu will be a static menu, and we will be making different pages of all these menus, right? And the login form will be the login word will be attached with the login file. The search will use to perform the search products or anything you want to search from the website. And this will be the categories of your website. Like in shopping cart website, you have different categories, like the TV contains your the brand name TVs of Samsung, LG, etc. Same in the case of computers. So this is all the categories we will be fetching from the database, right? So starting with uh, the next part, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this all CSS images and HTML file in my htdocs folder, and let's start with creating a folder named shopping cart. Then I'm going to paste all these files over here. So this is my HTML file. What I'm going to do here is I will convert these files to PHP. So converting means simple changing is its extension to PHP, and so these all files will be converted to PHP. Let's start with the naming convention of this file. So earlier I used to open by these files by clicking on them. So now it has been converted to PHP. So I will open them this by typing here localhost. Then the shopping cart folder is a folder name which I have made. So the shopping cart folder. Now I'm going to click over here, and by default the contact us page is being displayed on your screen. So one thing I like to tell you about this is that whatever whichever name, like index.php is a default file that is being opened when you click on any folder, right? So index.php is right now index.php is your contact us file, right? So by default it will open this file also, right? So if I am going to open another file, I have to type it over here like index5.php. So this is my index file, this is my home page or index file, whatever you want to, like this is the page I like to open when I click on this shopping cart, right? So for that what I have to do here is I have to convert this index. I will rename as contact us.php, and this index 5 I will be renaming as index.php. So whenever I will open the shopping cart folder, the index.php will be open. So this is the home page of my website. So that is being opened onto my screen, right? Next will be the contact us index is being done. Then moving to the next part, index2.php. This is my login and sign up form. So I will rename this file as signup.php. Then let's see index3. So this is my buy cart page, means where I have to like buy my product. To this file I will rename as buycart.php, right? Moving to the next file, index4.php. So this is my the file which will display all the products in front of me. So this file I will be renaming as products.php, right? So here is my like the full detail. Index will be my front page, the home page in which my slider will be implemented, categories will be displayed, and the products will be displayed, right? Then moving to the next part, there will be products.php in my all the in which my all the products will be displayed from the backend. Moving to the next part, it will be signup.php, from where I will from where the user will sign up to the website and will have a login access to your to our website. Then moving to the buycart.php. Buycart.php is a page where user will buy the product or enter the quantity, right? And the last one is the contact us.php, right? So this is the contact us.php. So now moving to the next part, we have converted our HTML file to the PHP files, and we have renamed it according to the data that is being displayed on the particular page, right? So moving to the next part, if I am going to like check that all the files are having something in common, like if I open these 2 3 files, all the files have something in common in that. What is that? Like this is the index file. If I look upon this header part, this is the common between all. This portion is a common between all, right? And if I look upon the footer part, the footer is also common in every on every page, right? So what we are going to do here is we are going to make this header as well as footer common, right? So how to do it? Let's start. I will be using Sublime Editor. Let's open the project in this XAMPP, htdocs, shopping cart. I will open all the files at one instance. So index.php is here with me, products.php, signup.php, and buycart and contacts. So let's move with the index.php. See, this is my division, the main division that has been starting from the from top to bottom. And if I look upon this header part, this is the main division, and this is the home page, and this is the head division. Okay, so the head division and the home page, I will pick up this portion, I will cut it, and I will put a code here as include common header.php, right? I will make a new file, paste the code over here, save, new folder. I will make a new folder with the name of common in the shopping cart folder, right? And here I will save this file as header.php, right? So header.php is a file, and I have written here as include header.php. So this will be a common file to my all the standard files like this head division. Now I am going to remove this portion and I will just place my include part in all the files. Header division, because this portion is the common to all, right? And if I am going to check this, so here it is also coming, here it is also coming, here it is also coming, and now here it is also coming. And let's uh, change it. Like if I am going to my shopping project, I'm changing on my only one file, header.php, and let's see, all the page will be affecting from this, right? So this way you can put your files in commons, because instead of updating each and every file, you can put your files in common file, and you can include that particular file in your all files that is required in that, right? So in this way you can just take up your categories part left side, and I can just put over here as include common categories.php, right? New file, I will, in common folder I will save it as categories.php, right? So I will update this file in my other files also, categories.php. I think login sign up is not having any categories in the on the left side now. So in the bytecode also I will update, and in contact also I will update, right? And moving to the next part, so these are common, so this is common. Let's check whether it is common or not. So if I am going to write here as my custom TV over here, and let's see, it is been refreshing on all the pages. So this is my index page, this is my contact us page. So this is, you can say, the benefit of common file. So by updating only in one file, you can just have changes visible in your all files, right? So moving to the next part is, so we have made our files commons, and the rest part is a footer part. Footer part, you can do it yourself when you are going to do the practice portion of with your on your projects on your laptops. And moving to the next part is, we have to make a database. Let's start with making creating a database. We can create a database of my project. And now, first of all, I will like to create a sign up form over here. The sign up form will is having a three fields with them: the full name, email, and password. I will create a table as sign up. We have three fields with them: full name, email, and password, but we will be making a four columns because id will be a you can say it's a most important part in your table. So whenever you have to create any table, id is must in that. And you have to note one thing also, that whenever you have to create a field in your database, you have to not write in it in the case sensitive form. Like if I am writing like this is not a value. So you have to write in everything, every letter in a small letter. And if you want to put some space over there, you don't have to put space like this by pressing the space bar. You have to put an underscore instead of space, right? So full name, I'm just creating full name. The varchar int will be, id will be integer, the length will be 11, and the index will be primary because it will be an auto incremented field. AI means auto incremented, means every row will have a unique id with them, associated with them. Then there is a full name. The varchar is always having a 255 characters. The next part is the email. Email will also having a varchar type and 255 characters. And the last one is your The password will also be having a varchar type and 255 characters for now. In the MVC frameworks like Laravel and Codeigniter, you will be having a password as varchar, but it will not be saved in a plain text. In that, like in Laravel or in other frameworks, the password is stored in the hash codes. In later parts, I will tell you about the hash code. For now, for the current project, we will be saving our password in the plain text in the form of alphanumeric. Means varchar means both alphanumeric can be stored in that, right? So I will be clicking on a save part. So this is the sign up table which I have created. It is having a four fields with them, four columns with them, ID, full name, email, and password. And now moving to the this part, sign up page. So let's open the sign up page. So see, the connection part will be the common to all the files because in every file we need a connection part. So I will make a connection over here, MySQL I underscore connect. Localhost is your server name, right? Root will be your username and blank will be your password, and the project name, the database name is your my project. Fine. I will place a or condition over here or die connection fail. If the connection is not been made, then it will display a message as connection fail. So mostly we need a connection in all our files. So I will make it a common file and save it in a common folder with the name of connection.php, right? So the connection.php is a file that contains my connection part to the connection part with my database. This is the localhost root is the username, blank is a password, and my project is a database name. So I have to include this file over here. So include common. The file name is connection.php. So connection.php. Got it? So this is a file which I have open over here. Let's start with the sign up page. Now the sign up page, in the most like form submission case, like form, you have to put here method as form method post, not the get part. Why? Because the difference between get and post is the get will always show some parameters in your URL, but in the post method it will not show any parameters. All the values will be passed in a secure manner. Let's see how. I will input type text, the full name, I have given this name, the email, because as you know that every text box which I have to submit should have some name, then only it will be saving a value. Now the save register, or you can say it's a sign up form. So sign up, because we have a two forms in my on my one screen, or you can on my one page there are two forms. So I need to declare the name of the submit button different in the case of this form, that is a sign up form, and different in the case of login form, right? You don't have to put same name in both of the form, otherwise like the coding will be, or the method will be clashed with each other, right? So action is simple, it's null, because it will be calling this signup.php method only. So moving to the this part, like if I am going to write over here full name, let it be Nitin, Nitin at the gmail.com, and password is 123. So if I am going to click on a sign up, the form is submitted. So while the form is submitted, we have to check here. If not empty, dollar underscore, I have written here the form method as post. So I will write here as dollar underscore post over here, right? If I am using form method get, then you have to write get over here, right? So dollar underscore post, and the name is a sign up. So here sign up. Now let's check the name, it's full name, email, and pass. So Then I will write a query as insert into sign up. Sign up is your table name. Then the column names, I have to insert in full name, then email and password. These are the column names in which I have to insert my value. So values will be single quote F name for full name, email for email, and password. All are varchar values, so you have to place these all values in the single quotes. Then I have to write as if MySQL underscore query uh, connection, connection or connect query. So echo if the query is been executed, then it will show a message of let's do it in another way. I can just end my PHP over here and start my PHP over here, and in this I can write my scripting part also. So let's alert sign up completed, and here sign up not completed. Try again, right? So let's check. So full name is Nitin, email is nitin@gmail.com, and 123 is the password. So sign up. So here it gives the message to me as sign up completed, and no values is been displayed on your URL because we have implemented form method post, right? So moving to the browse part. So here Nitin has been entered in your full name, email it's nitin@gmail.com, and password is 123, right? So in this way you can create your form. You can just create your sign up for the form. So next part is checking the login part. So in this way we are having a form. Again, method post, input type text. Let's give its name as un, ps, and name as login form, right? So again, when I am going to click on this form, it will be calling its own file only. So here I can, this is my sign up form block, and now I will be creating my login form block. So dollar underscore post, I think I have given it as login form. Yes, login form. So username, let it be, it's un, and ps is the password. So un is the username, ps is the password. Select star from sign up where email equals to username and password equals to password. ठीक है, where email equals to username and password equals to password. So this is a query which will check that select star from sign up means we will be checking from sign up table where email equals to email, where email equals to email, and password equals to password, where password equals to password, right? So if this query will be executing, let's have its result with them. Connect query. So if the username and password matches with one of my record, then result will be having that record. Because if I am going to enter nitin@gmail.com in username and 123 as a password, so when this query will be executing, the same record will be fetched from the database, right? and that particular record will be stored in result variable. Now I'm going to count that. MySQL num rows is a function that will just count how many rows are present in your result variable, right? So now if I'm going to check over here if count is greater than 0, because if the email and password is matched from the database, right, it will, that particular row will be there in result variable. And if I am going to check with the MySQL num rows how many rows are present in the result variable, then it will return 1 in your count variable. Why? Because that username and password is matches with your database, right? So if count is greater than 0, here it will display a message as login successful. Otherwise it will display a message as login successful, and that method we are going to write in your script file. It's login successful, else there will be alert login not successful. So let's check. mm, Nitin@gmail.com and password is 123. So login successful message has been, because that particular record is been found in your database. And if I'm going to write any other thing like Nitin@gmail.com, and if I'm going to enter 890 as a password, so login not successful, because that particular record with Nitin@gmail.com and 890 password is not been available in your database, right? So in this way you can just check your sign up form and login form dynamically with your database, right? So moving to the next part, this is a sign up part, and I'm going to attach this signup.php with my header part. Let's open my header part, and here like the login button is there, so I'm going to put an anchor text and wrap this button in that anchor text, and I can just put here as signup.php. So if I am on the home page, and if I'm going to click over here, I think something, see, by clicking on the login, it is taking me to your login and sign up form, right? So the next part is your home page, the index page. Here I will open as include common connection.php. So I have implemented this connection.php part, and what I am going to do here is, this is a category. I will create a category table in database. Let it be categories table, and number of columns 2. Let's have one the ID part. It will be primary auto increment, and the second one is category name. Category name varchar 255 characters, right? So categories. So here I am going to insert these categories over here. It was a TV. So TV. See, in two ways you can insert your categories. Like one is this way, you can just manually insert all the categories, and again like the browse function, like two categories has been made. Then again you have to put over it like the values over here. The one is a another part is a with the help of query. I'm going to do with the help of query, insert into categories, category name, values, single quote and the semicolon, and ranges. So I can just copy over here and ranges, then computers. I'm going to just paste over here, right? So insert into categories. Categories is your table name, category name is a column name, and the values. So go. So in one instance, all the categories are being filled, right? So we are ready with our categories table. Let's see how to display this category on your front page. Moving to the header part, let's attach the anchor tag over here. Anchor tag. We will create a header, the index.php link with the home page. So if I'm going to click on the home page, it will be like taking me to your index.php, right? So these categories that are right now fixed in my categories.php file, and categories.php file is being included in my index.php, right? So if I am going to open this index.php file, automatically all the content of categories.php file is included over here, right? I have included my common connection.php on the top of my index.php. So in this file, what I am going to do here is I will start a PHP query, select star from categories, right? Result MySQL I underscore query, connect query, while row MySQL I underscore fetch underscore association, result. So earlier it was your li, so I will create a li in my loop, and here I will just create row, the category name. So all my categories are fetched from my database only. Let's see, let's check. TV is here. If you are going to edit this, just double click on this. I will write here as post office S. So now it's been changed from TV to post office S, right? So if I'm going to refresh this page, it's post office S, right? So in this way, you can have your categories fetched dynamically from your database to the front end. So in other pages also, it is being implemented. Like if I am going to check my products.php page, because this category page was common to all. So products, when I am going to open my products.php page, it is showing me the error over here. Why it is showing me the error? Because I have not opened my connection in this file, right? Because these all categories are being fetched from the database, so I have to include my connection file also in products.php in order to display all that categories from my backend or database, right? So the next part is contact us.php. Again the same problem, because I have not included my common file in contact us page also. So contact us page, After including my connection file, all the categories from database will be displayed. And the last one page is my buy now page, buy card page. Again, the same problem. Now the buy now page, right? So in this way, you can just put a common connection file in your all files, and it will be fetching your data, this categories from your database, right? So let's bind all pages at once. So this is a home page. Now what I'm going to do here is I have a contact page with me also. So moving to the header part, I will just link my contact page, contact us.php. And if I'm going to refresh here, now the contact page is also been linked, right? Home page, contact page, and the login page is now linked. Every is interlinked with my every page, right? So contact us. We have a form here as full name, email, and message. So let's start saving this contact us page to your database. So full name, email address, and a message, and this we have this. Three fields, and the fourth field will be of my ID. So contact us table, four columns. One is ID, int 11, primary, auto increment. Then the next part is your full name. Next is your email address and the message. Let's put in short email address and message. So full name will be your varchar, email address will be your varchar, varchar varchar will be having a length of 255. The message will be of more than 250 characters. So if we are not being aware of that how much message the user is going to write to us, we can put here the data type as text, because text is having a variable length. There is no limit with text that you have to input your 255 characters or 500 characters. You can enter as many characters or string in your message bar if you have placed here the type text, right? So save. So the contact has been saved, the table has been created. So moving to my contact us page, there is a form, and we can have just form method post, and action will be the same. Now I'm going to assign some name over here. It's f name, e address, and text area name will be a message, right? So one thing you have to take care of is that the submit button should always be placed in your form tag. Then only your form will be submitted. If submit button is outside your form tag, then the form will not be submitted, right? So I am going to create one more table row. Later on we can adjust its design. So input type submit, name will be your contact form, and value save form. So let's have a look what is being changed. So this is being changed. The form is being rightly below the message part. So F name, E address, and the contact form, and the submit button is in between the form tag, right? So moving to its coding part, whenever the form will be saved, the form method is post, and I have assigned contact form key name in the submit button. So it will be having a full name, F name, E address, and message. So F name, message. So query, insert into contact us, message. So if MySQL I underscore query, so by entering over here, save form. So contact form saved, browse. So in this way, you can save your contact form in your project. So you have seen how I have saved the contact form at the backend. Like here, the contact, whatever I will write over here, will save in your contact table, right? So moving to the next part, let's display the products over here. So how the product will display? First of all, I need a database. I have a product images on my desktop. These are the product images. I will just copy this folder, pick this folder, and I will come across in C drive, XAMPP, htdocs, and the shopping cart project. I will place my product images folder over here. I will rename it as P images, a short form of that. And now what I am going to do here is we need to make a table of products, right? So I also have a product table that contains all the details of all the data of products. So how to import a SQL file? Let's learn this also. Like I have a product.sql file with me. Now, how I will import this is I will click on import function. Like first of all, clicking on the my project database in which you want to import the query, then clicking on the import function, then choose file, choosing a file, product.sql file. It's SQL means structure query language. So I will just choose that file and I will click on go. So after clicking on go, here my product table is being imported over here, and this is basically my product table. It contains ID, product name, product price, product quantity, product image, and display order and status and special. I will explain each and everything in detail. First of all, let's display the product on the front end. And here what I can do here is I will just copy pro images and I will rename my folder as pro images as well, because in database the product image is being placed with the help of the image name and the pro images, uh, the path along with that, right? And this is the category ID. We will map the category ID manually. First of all, the product, we have a product Acer television. So this television will belongs to which category? It will belong to TV category, and its ID is 1. I will manually update that ID over here, 1, and this is camera. Then for camera, the category is this one category, the 8 category. So I will update here as 8. Here also I will update as 8. Then camcorders is 9. So I will just update here category as 9. We will also, when we are going to insert these products from the admin panel, there we will make a select box in which category will be selected, and it will automatically pick its ID and placed in this category ID field. That I will show you in my next video. And then camcorder is camcorder is 9. So moving to the product part, 9. And monitors we can just put it into this TV only, so 1. So in this way I have binded my each product with some category. Okay, we will most of the time, not most of the time, every time, we will make a relation between two tables with the help of ID. Like whatever the unique ID this each and every category will be having, that will be placed in your products category ID field, because binding with the ID, with the unique ID, is very much important as compared to binding with the name, because name can also contain any capital characters and other you can say it's a case sensitive also, or sometimes it contains the spaces. So we have to avoid that, the link between categories and product with the help of a name, category name. So most of the time you have to bind both of the tables with your ID field, right? So in this way I have binded my ID, this category with ID, this products category ID column with categories ID. Now I am going to display these products in my front end, like here. So index.php is a file in which I am going to work. The connection I has open in the upper part only. So this is a product that is been displayed over here. So what I am going to do here is I will pick up div over here. Like this is my structure div camera info, and the camera info is a main div, and the Samsung camera is the. So I will just delete this. I will we will be left with only one division. Like I will also delete it as well. So I have a div, the parent div, which contains like the camera info div, which contains your this product part, and this is the individual product. So above the individual product, what I'm going to do here is query select star from product result query. So I will put this division part in my fine. So let's refresh it. So see, automatically your six products has been displayed. If I check at my backend, we have a six product, and the six same product is being displayed over here. Why? Because it is in being the div is in between the loop function. So the loop is running for the six times, and it will display the six product. So Here we will fetch the name dynamically, echo row product name, right? Then it is product price. So name and price will be displayed over here, right? And we will display a dynamic image over here, and so product image, right? So in this way, this is a product image because I have written image source as eco product image. So product image contains pro images acer.jpg. In my folder I have index.php file over here, and in the same folder pro images folder is also existing, and in pro images folders these all are the files that are being saved over here. So in this way you can just display the files, the images dynamically from your database, and even as your products from your database, right? So this is a part of your in the videos earlier part I have given you the knowledge about how to display the categories from database, and in this way we can display the products as well. So in now what we are going to do here is we are just implementing the project part that after clicking on TV it will be coming on to my products page, that and that page will display the products which are of TV category. So if I look upon categories table, I have a category named TV with its ID 1, and I have a product Acer television and Acer monitor that has a category ID 1. So the for category TV, it's ID 1, and we have two products in product table. So what we are going to do here is, like, after clicking on the TV part, I will be the page that will be opened will be displayed the two products of TV, that is Acer television and Acer monitor. So let's try to implement this. For implementation, what I'm going to do here is this is my category part. A category was common. So here what I am going to do here is like ahref. I will be implementing an anchor tag. In anchor tag, I will be moving to products.php page, and question mark. I will pass a parameter over here, a CID equals to echo row ID, right? So what does it means? Like if I'm going to refresh this, so here the link comes, and if you see in the bottom of this part of my screen, then if I'm like just putting my cursor on TV, then it is showing that it's showing me the link that my page will move to products.php, and there the question mark, the query string will be aroused with the CID equals to 1, and in this case it's 2. So this products.php link will be applicable to all categories, and based upon their the category ID, it will generate a query string with that particular ID. So for TV, it's CID equals to 1. For dishwasher, it's 2. Then ranges, it's 3. So if I click on TV, then products.php page is opened, and here it is given the query string as CID equals to 1. So in the products.php page, the connection is being opened over here. So what I'm going to do here is this is my products that is being displayed over here. So dishwasher is the first product. Let's check out it's the basic division. The basic division I have got is that dish info is a basic division. I will like delete all the dish info, leaving the one. So every dish info has been deleted. So this is my dish info division. I will place a code over here. What I'm going to do here is I will just picking my CID, category ID equals to CID. Then I will place a query as select star from product where category ID equals to CID. And moving to the result part, MySQL underscore query, connect query. So what this query will be doing is like here I am writing as I'm first of all getting the CID, right? CID right now at my top of the screen in the URL part is 1. So 1 will be coming to CID variable. Then select star from product where category ID equals to CID. It will fetch that products where CID is equals to where category ID, where this product category ID equals to CID. Right now CID is 1. So it will only fetch this one product, the selected one, and this one product because both have the category ID as 1. So it will fetch the product, and where the div ends, I will just close my loop, and in the index page, I will just pick up one. This is the products page. So dishwasher, it's a product name, then its price. So product price, then product in stock, it's product quantity, right? So and now it's the turn of product image. So here I will just put product image, then your date added. I'm not having right now any field in my database, so I will just leave it as such. And you can like product name, and if you have any field of model or manufacturer in your database, you can display it as well. Right now I'm just going to display her as product name. So let's check out. So this is my products.php, and if I'm going to refresh this, the two products is being displayed over here. So if I am clicking on TV, it is displaying the basically it picks my CID as 1. CID 1 is picked and it is being like returned to CID variable, and it will fetch the products from product table where category ID will be CID will be 1, and that products will be displayed over here. Fine. I hope it is being clear to everybody. So moving to the next part, if I'm going to click on this camcorders, we will be displaying with two camcorders as this because its ID is 9, and if I'm going to check that whose ID is category ID is 9, it's the two Samsung projectors and LG camcorders, and that both product is being displayed over here, right? So now I'm going to do programming of this buy now. So here the buy now button is there. I will put a anchor tag over here, anchor tag. So ahref, we can say it's we have a page of buy cart.php and question mark, and what I am going to pass here is the product type. So echo row ID. It's a row ID because we are going to display the product over here. So echo row ID. So I'm going to refresh this. If I'm going to like just put a cursor on buy now, and if I look on this status bar URL, then you can check that Samsung projector if I'm just hovering on buy now, then it's showing me PID equals to 4. And if I check, Samsung projector has a ID of 4. Then if I just click on buy cart of LG camcorders, then it has a PID of 5. So if I am going to check that LG camcorders, it has an ID of 5, right? So I'm just clicking on this buy now. So buy now will come take me to the buycard.php page, and it will be having a query string of PID equals to 4. So first of all, I'm going to update this page. Like, this is my dish info. I think this is my the whole div in which it has been displayed over here. So this is the parent div. I have to move to this part. So this is the contact sender. It's a class basically, na. So dish info. So this is a div from where my data will be displaying. So I will put a PHP code over here, or I can put it at the top of the screen, because we are going to display, we are going to fetch only one product here, not every product. So select star from product table where ID equals to, and I will put here as ID dollar underscore get PID is in my query string PID. So select star from product where ID equals to ID. Then result is MySQL I underscore query. Connect query. And we have only one record because select star from product I have placed here as where ID equals to ID. Fine. MySQL I underscore fetch underscore association. Here it's the result. So if I'm going to print this as print row, so that particular product is being displayed over here. So I'm going to just update it here. So PHP echo row product name. So the Samsung projector, let's check out its Samsung projector. And again, I'm going to just copy this instead of typing. So in order to save your and my time as well. So product name, its product name. Again, I will just in model and this manufacturer, I will be putting the product name in stock. It's the product quantity. So product quantity, and images, we can just come up with product image. So here the comes. We have a stock of 50 right now with us. So 50 has been displayed over here. Then the Samsung projector, then this projector, and the rupees has been displayed. So these all things are displayed dynamically from your database. Let's check out some other one. Like in the case of TV, if I'm going to click on TV, it's showing me the Acer television. Different televisions are being listed. Like if you click on some category in your Flipkart or any Amazon.com, all the like products belonging to that particular category is been displayed in your screen. So by clicking on the particular product, it will be leading towards the single project screen. So here, if I have clicked on the Acer television, it's showing me the quantity which I am having currently with me. Its model, manufacturer, and whatever the description you want to print over here. And if I'm clicking on Acer monitor, it is showing me the Acer monitor along with its detail and description and the stock which I'm currently holding in my like database. So in this way, you can just display and you can just interlink, connect with your pages of categories and products in your shopping cart website. So this is my first part. Here I am ending my first part of this video, and in my next video I will just let you know that how to add update your cart in your database, and how to check the login part, and how user will log in and maintain its cart, and the different the joins part, and like the checkout part. I will be going to implement the rating part, how it is every product is being reviewed and rated, and how it is being stored in the database. So stay tuned with me, and all the things will be presented in my next video. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe my channel and hit at like, and do comment if you want any other thing from my side on this video. Thank you.